Okay, we are going to start the buyer consultation.
Is it recording?
I think so. Okay, we are going to go ahead and do the buyer consult, take one. Okay, well, Apple, first off, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today.
Yes.
It should take us about 30 minutes, no longer than that. And then at the end, if you feel comfortable and confident that I could work for you and help you purchase your next home, we'll go ahead and sign the paperwork and get started, okay?
Okay.
Okay, great. So Apple, first things first, I work for you. So my job as your realtor is to, of course, get you into a home. And then number two, make this process as easy and seamless as possible. We want you to know that the journey of home ownership is all about you and your family's needs, as well as building your path to wealth through real estate. And I'm very excited to be a part of that process with you and be a part of that journey.
Awesome.
Okay. This is just a quick little meet the sales team. We include this in here so that way you feel confident in who it is that you're hiring to work for you. We are one of the top 5 teams here within Keller Williams Realty, so we definitely strive to make sure that all of our clients experience that 5-star customer service.
Okay.
This is just a little bit of background on each and every one of us as far as what our roles are on the team, so please feel free to look at that at your spare time.
Okay, sounds good.
And then in addition to ourselves, we have a full administrative assistant team as well, who simply work cohesively together to make sure that all of your questions are answered. They order all of our inspections and then just simply make sure that everything is going smoothly and we're meeting all of our deadlines throughout the escrow process.
Okay.
In addition to myself, they are that extra sort of communication as well. We know that in any kind of business relationship or relationship in general, that communication is always key. So we like to make sure that all of our clients are always communicated with at all times. If for any reason I'm in an appointment or you can't get a hold of me, you do have our assistants to reach out to as well in the meantime to get all of your questions answered.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, great. Please feel free to stop me anytime you have any questions along the way, okay?
Okay.
Okay, great. Now, Apple, are you familiar at all with our 3 types of real estate markets?
No, I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Not too
before.
much. Okay,
No.
great. So let's go ahead and go over the 3 of them. I always like to make sure I educate all of my clients on what type of market that they're heading into.
Okay.
So number 1 is going to be your buyer's market. This is more than 7 months of inventory. We aren't quite there yet, but what I mean by 7 months of inventory is that if no other homes were to be put on the market as of today, all of the sellers came to a halt, nobody else put their home on the market, we would have all of our homes sold within 7 months.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then number 2 is your balanced market, which is what we're slowly trying to get to, but however, aren't quite there yet either. That's anywhere from about 5 to 7 months of inventory. Okay. And then number 3 is going to be your seller's market, which is less than 5 months of inventory, which is what we've currently experienced for the past few years. We are still in that seller's market with the lack of inventory. My number 1 question that I always get asked is, should I still be buying as a buyer in a seller's market? I get asked all day long that by buyers like yourself. I always tell all of my clients, if you are in a position to be able to purchase a home and you can financially afford it and you're comfortable with it, that's always the time to purchase. So don't wait around for the buyer's market to come, for the seller's market. If you can financially afford it, you have the funds, your credit scores are there, then that's always the best time to purchase.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Okay,
yeah,
great. So I always just kind of like to prep you for that. So with the seller's market being that there is a lack of inventory, we are still experiencing that multiple offer situation on certain homes.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to prep you for that and just prepare your patience for it, okay?
Okay.
It might take us a few offers before the right one gets accepted, or we can get lucky and find that home that's been sitting on the market for 45 days and we have room to go in there and negotiate.
Okay.
Awesome.
But
But it'll depend and vary on each and every home, and we'll go over the details of it once we get closer to that step.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, great. So here I have the home buying process. It is broken down step by step, but it's exactly what we're going over. We just like to add a little picture diagram in there to help break it all down. Number 1 is select a real estate agent. Number 2, obtain financial pre-approval. 3, analyze your needs in a buyer's consultation, which is what you and I are doing at the moment, so you're ahead of the game. And then 4, select properties, and so on and so forth. Okay? Any questions so far?
No.
Okay, great. So let's go over the pre-approval for financing. You did mention that you are not currently pre-approved yet, right?
No, not yet.
Okay, great. So the most important step in purchasing a home and the most crucial part is going to be your pre-approval for financing. This is number 1, a benefit to you as the buyer. Number 2, turns you into a qualified buyer, meaning that we can go take a look at homes and submit an offer on a home. Okay, without having your pre-approval letter, yes, we can go take a look at a few homes, but if you happen to fall in love with one, we are not in a position to submit an offer without showing that you actually qualify to buy the home. Okay, so it is very important that we know your buying power before we start house hunting, because the last thing I want to do on my end as the professional guiding you through the home buying process is take you and your family to go see a home that you guys absolutely fall in love with, and then we figure out afterwards that it's not within the budget.
Okay. That makes sense, yeah.
So I always describe it as the homework. Nobody likes to do it. You've got to go through your, files of the taxes and things like that. However, it is the most important step, so we want to make sure that we start with this first.
Okay.
Okay, just to ensure that smooth process. And then 3, provides leverage in a multiple offer situation, and a good lender is very important. We use Vera Mortgage. They're one of the most well-known local lenders here in our area, so we'll go ahead and get you in touch with them afterwards once we're finished.
Okay.
That
sounds good.
Do you have anyone in mind that you've been referred to, or anyone like a family member, anything like that?
No, I mean, my parents mentioned maybe Bank of America or something, but we haven't talked to anybody.
Okay, great. So you're okay with going with one of our preferred lenders?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and if not, what I always tell my clients, sometimes they get referred Bank of America or they want to try their own bank, anything along those lines, you could always get 2 opinions. That way you can kind of compare the 2 and see which one offers the better rates and terms.
Okay,
so I'm completely fine with that as well. And then here we have your types of loans. So we have your FHA, conventional, and your VA loan. Have you or your spouse ever served in the military?
No, we haven't.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and skip that one. That's going to be for all of our active and retired military. But our first 2 that we have are going to be your FHA and your conventional. Being that you're a first-time home buyer, majority of my clients who have not yet used this usually go that FHA route. This only requires 3.5% as your down payment.
Okay.
So if we were to go look at a $350,000 house, your down payment is going to be exactly 3.5% of that.
Okay.
It won't be higher, it won't be lower, unless you're in a position that you want to put more than that 3.5% down.
Okay. Now, is that all that I'm going to need? Is my down payment?
As far as your down payment, yes. If you get qualified for FHA, the bare minimum that you have to put down that we can't get around is at 3.5%.
Okay.
Okay. There is some closing costs, but we're going to get to that here in a second.
Okay.
So that's your FHA loan. You do have your private mortgage insurance for the entire term of your 30-year loan. Usually you have either 15 or 30 years, but majority of buyers go with that 30-year term.
Okay.
Your private mortgage insurance is referred to as the PMI. Okay. That's going to be on your loan for the entire term unless you ever refinance into a conventional. You do have the option to get it removed. Why you have that extra set of insurance is because you are putting less down, so it is more of a risk to the bank as far as the loan goes. So you have that extra sort of insurance, but I want you to keep in mind that you are not stuck with that. Okay, so once you've lived in the home for a few years and you've built up that 20% worth of equity, you can always call your mortgage company and see if you can refinance to get it removed and refinance into a conventional loan.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah.
Do you have any questions as far as the FHA goes?
No.
Okay, and then we'll briefly go over conventional just because you're not going to use this one, so we won't really go too much in depth. That's usually either 5% or 20% down, and then you only have PMI for 2 years of the loan.
Okay, what would my credit score need to be to get approved?
So for your credit score, as far as FHA goes, I know they can go as low as 620, but they do like to see that 640.
Okay.
Conventional, to my knowledge, I believe is credit driven. So I think this one's more so in the 700s. However, if you do want to run numbers for FHA and conventional to see which one makes more financial sense, once we get you to fill out the loan application, I will let the lender know that you're interested in both. So that way they can run numbers for both and see if you qualify for either or.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, great. Yep. Alrighty, now closing costs. Are you familiar with closing costs at all?
No, I just figured there would be some kind of fee that I'd have to pay for.
Yes. So what most people don't know who are purchasing their first home is that in addition to your down payment, you as a buyer are actually also responsible for your closing costs. These are going to range anywhere from 2.5% to 3% of the sales price, and it is going to be in addition to your down payment.
Okay.
So I always like to make sure that that's completely transparent, so that way when we go house hunting, we make sure that you have all of the funds saved up that you need in order to submit, number one, strong offers, and then 2, make sure that you have enough funds to purchase the home.
Okay.
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 So that's going to be all of your lender fees, all of your title and escrow fees. Closing costs are standard in every single real estate purchase, including cash offers as well.
Oh.
Okay. So we can't get around that.